We are back for another episode of Real Estate Agents Driving in Cars, Looking at Mansions, sort of. We have an incredible guest today. I'm standing here first thing this morning in Yorba Linda, California, next to the American flag in my office because we have Tara Campbell. She is the mayor of Yorba Linda, and she is the youngest mayor in the United States of America, with the city over 30,000. She's the youngest female mayor in California, and I'm super excited to talk to her about politics, about her future, about how a mayor can affect real estate in the city, all of that stuff. This is a great interview. Nobody's here. It is super early. Her schedule must be incredible. She requested this time. So I think we're gonna drive and get a cup of coffee, but stay tuned because as soon as she gets here, you're in for a treat. And here she is. She just arrived. This is Tara Campbell.
Yeah.
The youngest mayor in California.
I'm the youngest female mayor in the United States.
In the United States. I read that it was in a city over 30,000, so there must be some podunk town with a 5-year-old mayor somewhere.
Before me, yes, but currently the youngest female.
Well, you requested this time because your schedule's probably insane, so it's early.
Thank you for coming in the bright early morning.
Raining. First day of rain in the year. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drive in my car.
Okay.
Normally we would drive and look at a mansion. We're gonna drive in my car and we're gonna get a cup of coffee.
Awesome.
And we're gonna chat. So here you go. Here's my car, and we're gonna enjoy it. And here we are. All right, this is the big interview. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I met you when you were probably 24, and you were the pro temp mayor. Is that what it was called?
Mayor pro tem, which is kind of like vice mayor. Yeah.
And you came and spoke at the office, and then all of a sudden you're the youngest mayor.
I know.
In the country. So it's been 1 year, right? So it was December 2018 you became mayor?
I became mayor in December 2018, yep.
And I'm going to just start. I'm going to ask the questions that just general people would want to know. So here's the thing. This is what a general person would want to know, or what I think I want to know, is am I sitting with the future president of the United States, the first female president?
Well, I've been mayor a year, David. I don't know. I never thought I would be even mayor of my hometown. I have kind of been using the saying, if you plan, God laughs. That's kind of been my life, because I wanted to be a sports journalist. I went to USC, fight on. Went to USC to be a sports journalist, and ended up having an internship in Washington, D.C. actually. And I was out there trying to get members of Congress to work together, believe it or not. I was working on some bipartisan legislation, and then all of a sudden the government shut down. And that was in 2013 over healthcare. I
remember.
And came back to Yorba Linda, and we were actually in the midst of a recall of our city council. And I was like, wait, this can happen. That gridlock I saw can happen on the local level?
Right.
Like, what? This is my hometown, right? It's a great community. We're a safe community, great schools. I was like, what is going on? So I realized we need good people in government, and that made me totally shift gears from sports journalism.
So you really did shift there, and you went... And you ran for city council? Well, then at that point?
No, so I came back, I added a major, I got my master's at USC in public administration, and then got involved really first on the Parks and Recreation Commission for Yorba Linda.
Okay.
So,
like the TV show then? Your entire life is like...
I'm Leslie Knope,
like
David.
Parks and Recreation.
That's the secret. Yeah.
Yeah. So just so you know, everybody calls me DJ.
Okay,
it's
DJ.
Okay. There's, I think, one person in the world calls me David. No, it's okay. So you can call me DJ.
DJ, got it.
Otherwise, people...
That's a cool name.
Yeah, well, people that are... It's David James Berg III, but people watching the show will go, who's David? Yeah, that's okay. No, it's okay. So... Okay, so now let's shift. Let's shift for a second here and go towards real estate. Your mom was or still is a famous real estate agent in North Orange County now.
Yes.
And so you have real estate in your blood, right?
Put out those yard
So
signs.
if the whole political thing doesn't work out and you're not the next president of the United States, are you going to go into real estate?
Partner with my mom, that'd be cool.
Okay, so that's a maybe.
Yeah,
we could work together.
There we go.
Here's the other real estate question. Can a mayor, or how does a mayor on a day-to-day basis or year-to-year basis affect real estate in the city?
Well, when I got on council, we were actually going through our sign ordinance, which is huge, obviously, for realtors, that you guys would be impacted the most because you guys have your open house signs out. And I think, honestly, knowing how, not only through my mom, but knowing a lot of realtors in the community, and I always joke when people ask what's the biggest industry in Yorba Linda, I say it's real estate. Because we are a suburban community with a robust real estate, great variety, but we were going through our sign ordinance, and some things that I wanted to make sure were in there, because at the time in our sign ordinance, you weren't going to be able to have an open house during a weekday.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could have an open house,
but you can have signs.
Sign
and then there was going to be a regulation to have only 4. You were only able to have 4 signs. So we changed that because in Yorba Linda, we're 20 square miles. You can't really get very far in directional signs. There's a lot of weaving in and out. And it wasn't eliminating the problem. People don't want to see clutter. But so I think having that knowledge of how realtors are, you're able to make effective change. So you're able to...
So I'll have like 3 realtors hissing at this part of the interview here because, they get their signs picked up and I think it costs a little bit of money, and they're like, who can you talk to? So I guess they're going to say you should talk to her right now. But what other solutions do you have?
And that is totally fine. I had somebody, that's why I'm trying to be so accessible, is if people have questions about where their signs are, if it is against the sign ordinance, and really the things that our people pick up are really if your sign is on the sidewalk, which we can't have something obstructing a sidewalk for obviously
and
ADA.
You don't want it looking like a...
Well, no, it's not just
like
looking.
a bizarre fair.
Right, but it's more so, is it obstructing like the safety of our sidewalks? So could a stroller or somebody in a wheelchair get through? So we can't allow it on sidewalks, and we can't allow it in medians either, and that's more of a safety thing, because if you're putting it in a median, you're obviously crossing into the street and doing that. So those are usually the ones that we pick up, and if it is, it's in our public works yard off of Eureka. Okay. And
but you mentioned easily accessible, and I know that was being now 26. So she turned 26. So she's, for quite a while, you're going to be the youngest mayor. How long is the term?
A year, so I'm coming up on the end of it now.
So I might be talking to the youngest retired mayor. But most likely they'll vote you back in, right? Or you have no idea?
In Yorba Linda, and like most cities in Orange County, you run for city council, and then the city council members elect who the mayor will be.
Right.
So next month we will decide who the mayor and mayor pro tem for 2020 will be.
How's it looking?
It's for what?
For another term.
Oh, well, in Yorba Linda, in my knowledge, we've never had the same mayor 2 years in a row.
Oh. So then it is appropriate that I would ask what next.
Well, I go back to being a council member, so I'll still be around. And I'm running for re-election in November 2020.
Do you have, at 26 years old, I mean, you get a little media attention, or maybe a lot. Do you have somebody that calls you and says, hey, listen, we're gonna wrangle you and breed you and take you up to the next level and teach you, and kind of handlers?
No.
Has that happened?
No.
Why?
Why? You're gonna make some calls?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's honestly, at least for myself, about getting Yorba Linda on the right track, and we have made such great improvements. I mean, anyone who's been in Yorba Linda for a number of years knew it was pretty tumultuous for a long time, and I'm just so proud that we're on a better path forward. We're seeing the progress. The town center finally, the new library arts center finally.
See, those are things that a mayor affects, and those are major real estate developments.
Huge,
right? Huge
for Yorba Linda.
So, a couple of the things that you did, going back to being young, was that you made it. I know that you can take a picture of something and send it in, and it'll get fixed right away. Cool things like that. So what was the tumultuous. It's so early I can't even talk. What was going on before you, and what have you smoothed out?
So we had a number of potential recalls of city council, of different regional boards, but about 8 potential ones, and it was, in my opinion, it was a lot of personal politics that was getting in the way of progress for the city.
What would give me? I mean, you don't have to.
For example, the town center. So
the personal politics would be what?
Well, remember, people just disagreeing, and instead of having a healthy debate about something and moving forward, they would either kick it down the road, like keep kicking the can down the road. And a good example was the town center. You know, it took over 20 years. 20 years. So almost as long as I'm alive.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is, I'm very proud that we're finally have the town center here, because people wanted to be able to shop and dine here.
Right.
People want to be able to dine in their city.
I mean, this city is incredible for, you know, the homes, the family, the safety, the schools.
Right.
But the food is lackluster. I came from LA, 20 years up there. I mean, you can find an incredible restaurant in every corner. So we're missing that, so you're kind of right.
Well, that's what I heard when I ran in 2016. I heard so many people, we want to be able to dine here, we want restaurants. And so it's twofold. I brought in JLL, a broker, to help boost our economic development, to not only recruit businesses, but retain businesses.
Okay.
And then also I started a restaurant weekend in Yorba Linda with the Yorba Linda Chamber of Commerce. So we're highlighting the restaurants we do have, because we do forget
I think
about
I was
a lot
there.
of the restaurants.
That was an event, right?
Well, it was a week-long event, and so, you know, every restaurant gave like a little deal. Like if you went to Nikki's Kitchen, they had a secret menu, and if you went to Stefano's, you got a discount, or if you went to Wild Artichoke, you know. So wanted to highlight a lot of the restaurants we had. Have you been to Monarch 9?
No.
French Vietnamese food in Savvy
Oh,
Ranch.
it's over there, Savvy Ranch.
So
I saw that.
So good.
It looks fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to check that out. So good job on all of that. Yeah. So you're coming up on a year. You don't know what's going to happen next. Who do you talk to about what's happening next? Do you talk to your mom? Do you say, hey guys, I'm going to stay on city council? So you stay on city council.
So I go back to being a council
if you
woman.
don't, I think you're gonna have a shot, right? You've done a great job.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm running for re-election in November 2020. So I'll still be.
Sorry about that. I don't know.
It's important. Hey, I know for realtors.
My phone's starting to ring.
Your phone always is ringing. No, I'm running for re-election because if anything, I noticed there's still a lot to be done, and keeping us on this great path forward, I think.
What are the top 2 things that need to be done? My phone is going crazy now. I think I sat on it. That's what. What are the top 2 things that need to happen here in Yorba Linda?
Well, I think for Yorba Linda, you're probably seeing it in other cities too, it's sustainability. The cost of everything is going up. The state is increasing minimum wage $1 a year for the next 5 years. That's impacting everything. You know, the state does a lot of unfunded mandates. Yeah. And so how are we going to address those to maintain our quality of life? Like, we just added another police officer to our force, which is huge for us. And I think that's very helpful and going to really help with the town center.
Can you reduce the lines at Starbucks? It's allowing us the entire interview. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I grew up in Eastlake, and right across the street. So this was like my hub, this shopping center.
So if we went into this Starbucks, rather than drive through, would you be more famous than me?
You want to test it?
Should we test?
We're like in the driveway.
I know. Should we test that out? Would they go DJ?
They probably would know DJ. They probably would know you.
I don't know. This is my regular Starbucks.
No, but the folks like they probably might be my Eastlake neighbors from ways away.
So I'm so intrigued on the what next. Is it bothering you that I'm asking that? No. I've got to keep asking.
No.
So you're gonna go city council, right? And then what? How do you go to the next level? I want to be your champion. I want you to go all the way, man. So how do you? What would be? Let's say you are fixing things here. You have a successful track record. What do you run for next? What's the next rung up the ladder?
Honestly, I have no idea, and I will tell you the reason I'm staying trying to run for re-election to Yorba Linda City Council is not only is there things that definitely are coming down the pipeline that we need to address, but really you can make tangible change on the local level. It's so nice. Yeah. Like you can make change quickly. You saw, remember we had the drought a couple still kind of but the drought. Are we coming up on our Starbucks?
So now we're gonna see what Tara Campbell orders at Starbucks.
Oh no, I'm gonna be so boring.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Can I get a grande blonde roast?
Grande Blonde Roast, you got it.
That's ironic.
I know, right?
Can I get a, I'm not that boring, a tall breve latte with 3 shots?
And then that was a tall breve latte with
Fancy.
3 shots of espresso.
Yeah, and inside, I want 2 equals.
You got it.
And then on top, I want cinnamon and vanilla powder.
Cinnamon powder and then vanilla powder. Okay?
That's what I want. Thank you.
Of course. We'll see you up here.
That was
Okay.
so fancy.
Well, I found out if I say triple tall breve latte, they go, huh?
Yeah.
Or they make it wrong, so I have to really spell it out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that I totally lost where we're at.
Yeah.
You were probably talking some politics, and it just
I know. What
went
was
straight
it?
out of my.
We were talking about you're able to make tangible change at,
Oh, yeah.
at a very fast pace because we had the medians that were they were dead in Yorba Linda, and so I was able to help expedite those to be transitioned, and so we're now complete. 4 out of the 5 phases are now complete,
Okay.
and they'll probably all be complete by the time like mid 2020. So you're able to make change so quickly on the local level. It's refreshing.
Yeah, and
As you
it's
look at government
gratifying
on the
to
bigger-
see progress rather
Right.
than get caught in this call.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask a Republican question?
Sure.
I know I'm dead serious about this. It's going to sound like I'm joking, but we're in California, so you're a female Republican, which is great. I don't know that male-female matters there, but Republican in California, it's almost like people hiss, like they go, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I would say that I'm way over on that side, other than 1 or 2 things that are debatable anyway. It's almost like we hide. How do we change that?
Yeah.
How do you change that? I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
a shame that we're so far apart that we can't even have like a conversation.
And that's it.
Especially in California.
Right. And that's, you hit the nail right on the head. Something that I started here in Yorba Linda was the Young Civic Leaders Academy, because we all look at the national level and how, or even the state level, and how divisive it's become. And I don't want our next generation growing up with like this disdain.
That immediately
Yeah.
each side hates.
Right.
Talk about gridlock.
Right, and not know that there are actually positive ways
Right.
to debate issues and move forward in a positive way. So created the Young Civic Leaders Academy for high school students in Yorba Linda, and it's a nonpartisan thing, and each week we go over a different aspect of city government, and it's hopefully providing them with that nonpartisan, positive, hands-on experience to give them, and they've taken it and run with it, and it's been really really exciting.
It's almost like, and I'm sure this will never happen, but it's almost like if we just learn and talk about the issues rather than identifying with the side.
Right.
It's like we're at the point of like, who? There's my phone again. Of like,
You're popular.
Yeah, right. I'm of like, who cares about sides? Let's talk
Right.
about these issues. Let's get things done. I don't think that'll ever happen. That's my John Lennon song on, that, on politics. We're not. I don't know that we're gonna.
But
get
I am a big believer on we agree more than we disagree, and if we actually have those conversations, then we can find that common ground. And something that even I've learned as going through this, because even our council disagrees on
What do
issues.
you have next right after this? You called me so early. Did some big council meeting?
Well,
or you just weren't sure you were going to do the interview?
No. So
Thank you.
mayor's not a full-time job. So my full-time job, I work in Santa Ana for the County of Orange.
I read that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm Chief of Staff for Supervisor Don Wagner, who actually represents Yorba Linda on the County Board of Supervisors.
Oops.
It's okay. And so that's where I'm headache after this. That's why it's an early morning press.
So what's your title there?
Chief of Staff.
So do they call you Mayor / Chief of Staff or Chief of Staff?
They call me Tara.
Oh, they call you Tara. Oh, you guys. All right, so we got. Let's see. I think you don't know what is happening next with you, and I think that
don't.
might be smart at 26. Yeah, I think.
You see how? How
I just
it
think
changes.
sometimes we hear all of this stuff about people setting giant goals,
Right.
and it's kind of the world that way. But you're chunking it down into doing a really good job in the
Yeah.
time that you're at. You're obviously well-read, educated, probably continue to stay up on things, and you're teaching, so chunking it down, I think, is really smart.
Yeah.
You probably set small short-term goals and try to hit those. So I think that's a lesson right there. I think that's really, really smart.
Yeah, no, and on that note, I think that's a great way of describing it, because when I was campaigning in 2016, I set goals, and we've been able to accomplish all of those in my time before my term is even up. And so when you're able to actually have, again, those like tangible results, it's I think refreshing.
All right, we're going to enjoy our Starbucks together on the drive back to the office, and I really appreciate the interview, and I think that I'm either talking to the next president of the United States or a future real estate agent. One of those two
One
things
or the other
is going to come true.
Both great.
I appreciate the time that you've put in with my agents, and you've come and visited us several times, and you've done a great job here.
Thank you, DJ.
If I were to vote, I would vote for you to be mayor for a second term.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for being on Real Estate Agents, driving in cars, looking at mansions, and we didn't do any of that.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. Just ignore what's happening to my car. All right, I'm ready.
You're like all fresh, I love it.
Yeah, well, I had to get dressed up. Here we go.
Thank you. Now I want to dress up.
What's this?
We both wore green today.
I know,
I think that's yours,
coordinated.
'cause that's
Yeah, they
Grande.
wrote a nice message.
Sometimes on Sundays I wear a polo to work and I'm like, fire.
Oh, yeah, right. Can I get a receipt?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can I show this to the camera?
Yeah, right there.
Look at Eastlake Starbucks.
Today
is gonna be a great day.
It is, right?
That's so awesome.
What